Hello, and welcome to Nerdy Unreal Dev. No, this channel isn't quite dead. I'm just really bad at that whole regular updates thing. Um, so I'm still here. I still appreciate any tips or, any ways of supporting the channel. But let's go on. You would be right that, okay, that is Steam, go away. Um, you would be right in thinking that this is not Unreal. This is Maya Light, and I'm going to talk real quick about UVing 3D models in a way that won't make Unreal cranky. Because some of you may have noticed, Unreal has an issue with overlapping UVs. Now in Unreal Engine 5, they're including a UV editor, which lets you edit the UVs within Engine, but it's a lot simpler if you don't have to edit them at all, or if you're in earlier versions of Unreal. So this is just, random polygons. Didn't really mess with them aside from stacking them precariously. So, how would I UV this in a way that Unreal wouldn't be cranky? Well, first, let's do some good cleanup. By that I mean delete by type history. Alright, modify, freeze your transformations. That way everything is 0, including the individual mesh pieces themselves. Now, the next step would be combine, but I personally find it a lot easier to UV different parts of a mesh separately and then combine them. This is mostly important when you have like bigger things. So, got the UVs, checking real quick to see if they're good. Where are you? Now, again, this is Maya Light, so these are Maya controls, but the principles I'm showing you are the same, no matter what 3D program you're using. So we're going to make sure we're selecting UV shells, unfold, see if that'll help make it better. It does. And we're just going to move these. And we do the same for each cube. That did not need to be there. Okay. So again, UV shell, unfold. That's cube, very much unfolded already. Alright. And cylinder, unfold. Cool. Now we go back. Leave those alone for a sec. Go and mesh combine. So now it's all one mesh. And then we go back to our handy dandy UV editor. Might have to do this. And highlight all the shells. Now in Arrange and Layout, I'm not sure what the Blender UI is. I would presume there's something similar. This distribute number, this is basically ensuring that there are pixels in between each UV. So that's at 2, but you can change it to 5. You can have it at 0. I do not recommend, because in addition to Unreal getting cranky, when you go to texture the model, there can be some issues with the texture bleeding into areas it shouldn't be. So really not having overlapping UVs is good no matter what. It's just even more important for lighting purposes in Unreal, because even when it repacks things for the lighting maps, for whatever reason, if you don't have, decent amount of space for the shells, it starts giving you the overlapping UVs warning still. So we lay out, might want to orient shells, then layout. And like these technically, at first glance, it looks like they're overlapping. They're not. Might still cause issues, like I said, from a texturing standpoint, so you can always move things along. You might, depending on how your pipeline is, might need to make sure that like everything is shrunk to only be what'll sometimes happen is you'll have it so that these can only be in 1/4 of a UV of the square, and then another model would be up here, and then you would have another there and another there. Also, another trick, I'm not sure what the controls for this would be for Blender, but the checkerboard, let me just, so I can show you. The checkerboard up here, not only does it let you check if the UVs are proportionally right, as in by making sure these are squares and not rectangles. If you see the checkerboard, that means that the UV is dipping into one of the other squares, and it can cause some issues. Also, Maya does let you know if there's overlapping UVs right here. How many shells, reversed UVs, I believe are kind of like opposite. Anyways, but yeah, that's, you know, make sure you have some good UV practices. Always talk to your texture artists and your technical artists to ensure that how you're UVing is good for how they're working. Texture artists in particular might need you to UV in ways that make sense to them, like ensuring that, you know, like, things that are the same material should be separate, have separate UVs from things that would be a different material, that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope y'all have a good one. Like and subscribe, and feel free to support me either via Ko-fi. I have a Redbubble. I also have an itch.io page with some game assets that you can find for sale there if you like. So yeah, that'll be all.